Hello, I'm FirePug. If you guys are new, welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to break down the photo we just got from Apex Legends over on Twitter with the caption, "Searching the Stars." So what I'm going to do, I'm going to break all of this down, go through all the details, and explain everything inside this picture, and try to figure out why they posted this and what they're trying to tease. Let's start out with this calendar over in the corner. The year is 2731, which is a few years behind where we currently are, so this is a few years in the past. Next, I don't really know what to think of this, but there is a lot of candy scattered around, and even on the calendar, the background of it is candy wrappers. So I'm not sure, that's not going to really mean a whole lot, but it's just interesting to know that whoever's little office this is, they like candy. And they must also have a passion for studying space rocks. As we see, there are chunks of meteorites sitting over the desk, and it even looks like there's one picture of one on a post-it note taped to the wall. Also, we see the Apex Legends Overtime comic book sitting on the desk as well. They probably just threw that in there for fun, and that doesn't really mean much lore-wise. Next, we see a can of clear gloss. So this means that whatever this person is, they must be working with keeping something looking good, something painted that looks good. This could be some sort of machinery or something made of metal like a jetpack. Next, we see a P20 sitting on the table. Now, considering the date, this might not be P20, might be P2016. Anyways, it's pretty much the same thing. P2016 is just a Titanfall version. And it looks like there's a little tablet over in the left-hand corner that says Advanced Training on it. There really isn't much we can get out of that other than this person must have gone through some advanced training course for something. Alright, we covered all the little things. Now let's get on to the things that sort of lead us into what this person is. I'm going to start off with this white piece of paper sitting on the desk. Alright, so the top part, it's pretty illegible. We can't read what that first paragraph is on the top of the page. I'll get into those cross-off letters in a second, but any of us who have played Titanfall 2 will immediately recognize the word Vincent, or Vincent Dynamics as the full company's name. Now, what was Vincent Dynamics? Well, Vincent Dynamics was a group, a company who made, at the time of Titanfall 2, all sorts of weapons that were used in the war, and sort of machinery and tools that they sold to either good or bad guys, pretty much whoever was willing to pay the most for them. So they weren't really good or bad, they were just a company that made tools and weapons for the Titanfall 2, the war that was going on. Now the word Vincent is going to tie into those cross-off letters I was talking about earlier. See a cross-off K, S, R, V, another K, and then an A with a question mark. Now, I knew this had to be something Titanfall 2 related because of the word Vincent, sort of thinking Titanfall 2 type stuff when I looked at this. Also, considering the fact that I've played the Titanfall 2 campaign over 40 times, I know exactly what these letters mean. All these letters represent a name of the Apex Predators led by Cuban Blisk. Those being Kane, spelled with a K, Sloan, Richter, Viper, and then Cuban Blisk, who was the leader of the Apex Predators. The A with a question mark stands for Ash. Ash was also an Apex Predator. Now the Apex Predators, they were led by Cuban Blisk. Basically, they were mercenaries. So they did a bunch of dirty work for big companies and organizations who were willing to pay them to do it. And you get to know the Apex Predators pretty well playing through the Titanfall 2 campaign because you do fight every single one of these people. In the Titanfall 2 campaign, you destroy every single one of these people other than Cuban Blisk. Cuban Blisk does get away. After you fight Sloan at the very end, you destroy her and her Titan, but you are badly damaged. Cuban Blisk comes up to you. He invites you to the Apex Games, and that's sort of the end of the Titanfall 2 campaign. But the big question is, where are all these people now? Well, I personally think Sloan, Richter, Viper, and Kane are all dead, leaving only Cuban Blisk and Ash alive. Now, you did destroy Ash and her Titan in the Titanfall 2 campaign, so the question is, what happened to her? Now, we know Ash isn't human anymore. Ash was human a very long time ago, but now she's a simulacrum like Revenant. And Ash was rebuilt after she was destroyed in the Titanfall 2 campaign for the company Vincent Dynamics, and Vincent Dynamics then basically owned the simulacrum and could use her for whatever they wanted. So to recap that, these are all the names of the Apex Predators, all of which have died other than Cuban Blisk, who of course made up the Apex games in the first place, and Ash, who was destroyed while working with the Apex Predators and was rebuilt to work for Vincent Dynamics. Now, what happened to Ash while she was working for Vincent Dynamics and to the point where we found her under Kings Canyon, that whole space and time is sort of a mystery. And the lore we've been picking up on her through the quests has sort of been revealing what's been going on, but we haven't learned a whole lot. Anyways, that's a lot of information about just one tiny sheet of paper. Let's move on to the statue in the background. Now this, if you're a Titanfall 2 player and you really know your stuff, you would recognize this from the map Angel City. There's a giant statue who just looks just like this. And what I think this statue really is teasing towards is the name of the next legend. Now, I'm sure we've all heard of Valk, and Valk being short for Valkyrie, and the statue being a statue of a Valkyrie. Valkyrie has been teased a lot. The most recent and notable teaser of Valkyrie was in the end of the Apex Legends 100 million player video. They posted this over on Twitter. And at the very end, we could see a character with a jetpack flying above Mirage. And this character is going to be the next legend, Valk. Now, some other things I didn't cover in this is the map. I don't recognize the map at all. There isn't a whole lot of detail here for me to sort out. And also the red coat over on the side, sort of a reddish orange color. I think this might have something to do with Valkyrie's default skin, but there's not a whole lot I can pull from that as it is. And also there's an SC in the top right hand corner. Everything else we really can't read much of. But let me know if I did miss any little bits of information in this. I'm pretty sure I got it all. And if the video is helpful, please consider subscribing. It helps me out a ton and it's free. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you later.